Hi there, this is PJ, your Wiradjuri mermaid, bringing you my very first reading as a general reading. I do use this channel to send personal readings for my clients that are paid, and today I thought I'd kick off and try and build my channel a little bit more by doing a generalized reading. I'm hoping to make more time to do these things. I just recently invested in a little coffee table from Aldi that has a little spot, a storage spot in it, where I thought would be big enough for all of my tarot and oracle decks. However, I was very, very wrong. So today I'm just going to do a general reading, which by the looks of things is going to be a financial reading. So if this message finds you between, well, here in Australia it's the 16th of August, but it may be the 15th where you are in the world. So I'm going to give it for until maybe the 18th. So if you're seeing this before those dates, or it just makes sense to you, this message is for you. My channel is all about positive energies and affirmations, and, you know, just making sure that we do things right. So I do a lot of manifestation work myself personally. I also follow things like laws of attraction. So I'm not one to sell any spells or do any spell work for you. However, if required, I could potentially write you a manifestation that you can use to help you on your way. But yeah, wow. So we've got these. Now you'll notice that I've sort of marked out my area with my little crystals and things, so I know that they're going to be on camera, because I like you to see what I'm reading rather than you see my face. It's not that I'm ashamed of my face, it's just more I would rather see that show you what cards I've picked up on. So I read the energy of the cards, of what the story tells me on the cards. As an artist myself, I call myself a visual storyteller, so I do like that I can read the energy of the cards rather than just the generalized meaning itself. So what stands out to me on this is we've got the Page of Pentacles in reverse. She's contemplating, and I feel like being in reverse, it's kind of like you're feeling a little bit unbalanced. You haven't quite found your way of balancing your finances, and maybe like you don't see that your work is paying off. Like you're just going through the motions at the moment, and your finances are a little bit unbalanced. So the next card is the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So the Ace of Pentacles is all about slow growth and planting seeds, but I feel like you may be quite confused about where to go next, like what seeds to plant, or, you know, your investments aren't flourishing the way you would hoped. So the good news is this was the energy that we were just previously in. But we've got the world in front of us, and the world is in upright, which is telling me that, you know, while you're feeling unbalanced and you feel like your investments aren't quite working, the future is bright for you. You do have the world at your feet. So, you know, even though it might not feel like it right now, what I'm getting is that these things will actually come to fruition, probably a little bit slower. And there's going to be quite great reward. So you can see here we've got the Ten of Pentacles in the upright, you know, and it's about that family and that engagement and that connection to one another. So, you know, the future is going to be, well, the present that's just around the corner for you is on its way. However, there is going to be a lot of hard work. You know, you will have to focus your energy. You will go through these cycles. The Eight of Pentacles tells me that, you know, there might be some late nights and there might be some times where you feel like you're burning the candle at both ends. But when you think about your family, you can see that she's looking back at her family. It'll all be worth it. And then we've got finally our Knight of Pentacles. So this reading is all about the Pentacles. And I swear to you, I have used these cards time and time again, and I've never seen this many Pentacles come out all at once. So the Knight of Pentacles tells me that, you know, it's about that labor of love, that sowing the seeds, that flourishing of crops, and that movement forward. So he's moving in a forward direction. He's planting his coins as he goes along. He's taking the slow walk. He's not riding his horse. He's just sowing those seeds. So I'm going to just do some clarifications on these. So I've got these other cards just over here. And I try to keep these readings quite short because I find when I'm scrolling, I don't want to sit and listen to a reading for more than 10 minutes. I like to, know this is bad, but I actually like to read before I go to bed, or listen to a reading before I go to bed. And, you know, sometimes anything longer than 10 to 15 minutes can be quite a lot to hear. So I would love your feedback if you would like to see them longer, shorter, if you'd like general readings, love readings, etc. I will try and get on here to do a bit more, and let's see where it goes. Again, as I mentioned earlier, I do also do paid readings for my rates. Send me a message and I can get to you from there. So or I don't know, maybe I'll have to set up a Facebook just for my readings. I do have a Facebook group which I'll share with you in the comments if you're interested in that. So the cards that came out, we've got some reverse again. So the Strength in reverse. So you're just feel like you want to give up and you can't actually see the celebrations that are meant for you. Like you just feel really stuck. And I think this really relates to these cards here of that channeling your energy and that purposeful feeling. It might be time for you to just take some rest and, you know, maybe just give yourself a moment or two to take a step back. And, you know, things don't always turn out the way we want them to, but looking at what we had underneath, I do feel you have a really good foundation for whatever it is that you want to know. The final cards that I'm going to pull, because I do like to pull an oracle card, and then I might do a bit of a what's coming next. So I'll take these ones back and I will shuffle them again for what's coming next after we shuffle these beautiful cards by Mel James. I was fortunate enough to meet Mel last year, actually not long ago, 12 months ago, a few days back, and I interviewed her about her book. Funny enough is I actually owned a whole stack of her cards before we met, and she did gift me some other ones, so they will come up in other readings. So the message or oracle card from Mel James, and these ones are the Healing Oracle, which I feel right now, this collective energy just coming out of that horrible retrograde, is we all need that healing. Let me just break these cards because they don't seem to want to play. My apologies. So nope, I am going to take these two because they feel like they wanted to come out. So we've got Mia, faith. Oh, it's actually 3 cards. So these cards are to remind you to have faith, loyalty, and rebirth. So these things are the things that you need to be mindful of, is to continue to have faith, continue with your loyalty, however that feels for you, and new beginnings will come. So now we're going to do the final message or advice. So we've got the Nine of Pentacles in the upright, so we've got some beautiful things coming. We've got the Ten of Cups in reverse, so a little bit of a disconnection there. And we've got the Four of Cups, so being focused on the wrong things. So the good news is your balance will return to you. You will find that happy balance. And I think the Ten of Cups is just to remind you not to pour from that empty cup. I always find that of late I'm quite exhausted and I feel like my cup is running on empty. So one of the most important things someone had told me was you can't pour from an empty cup. And at the moment I'm healing the cracks in my cup. So my advice is to, you know, just take it one step at a time. Be careful where you channel your energy. Don't focus on the wrong things. There is something protecting you and looking after you from behind. You just can't see the bigger picture yet. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this message. Please give me some feedback. I will be posting it in numerous places. And till next time.